This is Jamie Drummond with Good Food Revolution. I'm here with Stags Leap winemaker Christophe Paubert in the lovely environs of Crush Wine Bar in Toronto, Canada. How are you today, sir?
Very fine, thank you.
Now, you've been with Stags Leap for now 3 years altogether?
2 years.
2 years.
We were just before August 2009.
Okay. Now, what do you believe you're bringing to Stags Leap yourself with your expertise and the like?
I am honestly, I'm not going to change that many things at Stags Leap in the wines, because the main reason why I joined the company is because the wine made before me are really the style of wine I like. So I am going to focus even more the wine and the style they already have and not changing a lot of things. I am following someone who has a very strong belief on style, and I have the same that he has.
And what would you say that philosophy and style?
Philosophy is we like I like very fresh and crisp white. For instance, the Chardonnay doesn't have any malolactic fermentation. Okay. It's not about that. I want to show the fruit, and I don't want to hide the fruit with malolactic fermentation or too much oak. And also the reds, it's about freshness of fruit. So I don't hang the fruit a long time because I think it is also erasing a little the quality and the expression of the terroir. So it's all about, and this style of wine also is making food pairing much easier. And we sell the majority of our wine in restaurant, and we want to follow in this tradition.
Now, how many different varietals do you make at Stags Leap these days?
We have 5 main products. The first one is a Viogner, which is a lower quantity than the other ones, and after it's Chardonnay, Merlot, Cabernet, and Petite Sirah.
I see. And which would you say was your favorite? I mean, coming from France originally, is there a particular varietal that really gets you incredibly passionate?
So first, to make wine, different wine is like to have different kits. It's difficult to choose one. But I discovered at Stags Leap Petite Sirah. I never made Petite Sirah before, and I really love to make big wines. And Petite Sirah are the biggest wine I have ever made and ever seen. So the funny part of that is that they are the easiest wine to make, but I really have a special love and care for Petite Sirah because it's new, but all the products are really awesome.
Now, how would you just said it's the easiest to make. Would you mind explaining why Petite Sirah or Syrah is the easiest grape variety to make it?
Because compared to Merlot Cabernet, we are going to macerate them for 3 weeks to 4 weeks. We have to taste that every day to know if we give them a little bit more oxygen, a bit more pumping over, and it's very, very lots of little tweaks. For the Petite Sirah, it takes only 8 to 9 days. There is so much in the grapes that after 8 or 9 days you just have to drain them, because if you macerate them too long, you may have even too much tannins. So the grape is so powerful, so full of color, flavor.
Stags Leap are very well known for their Petite Sirah. Now, I had noticed in the past that when you label this, you spell it with a Y. What's the reasoning behind that? And please explain what's happening in the future with regards to your labeling regulations.
I would say that I think from the beginning it should have been an I, but it was said this way many years ago, and Y was used before the TTB, the regulation in the US was really careful about it.
Yes.
And they were okay to follow that as long as we didn't have to change. We wouldn't like to change the labels. And recently we had to change it, and they obliged us to use the I, which is international convention for the Petite Sirah.
When do you have to make that change with your labeling?
It is the first vintage will be 2008.
I see. Now, your top tier Petite Sirah is something very special and unique in every which way. Please explain a little about that particular wine.
So just to start about Petite Sirah and Stags Leap, the first vineyard at Stags Leap was planted in 1885, and first block was a Petite Sirah. So it's a love story from day one. The oldest block we have on the property was planted in 1929, and it's very special because that's the only block we have on the property that old. And there is something very unusual about it. There is 85% of Petite Sirah And mixed, co-planted, there is the 15% is made of 17 other varieties.
17 other varietals.
Yeah. So that makes this wine, because they are all vines, the tannins are very soft, and the co-planting makes this wine very, very complex aromatically, very floral, and that's really the jewel of the winery.
So all of these co-planted vines are harvested together and then co-fermented?
Completely.
So some of them are ripe, some of them are less ripe?
Yeah, but 85%. We aim the harvest on the Petite Sirah, which represent 85%. So some of them, as you mentioned, maybe a little overripe, a little underripe, but it's a magic block, so it works.
Well, it certainly is a very special wine. Thank you very much for joining us at Good Food Revolution.
My pleasure. Thank you.
To your help.